Will you please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by members of the Arcadia University Choir. Pianist for the national anthem is adjunct professor in the music program, Samuel Heifetz, and the choir is directed by Professor Stephen Gerhardt.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is now my pleasure to introduce Kevin Brown, Alumni Director for the invocation.
Part of the life-altering experience of attending college is exploring new subjects, topics, feats that until your entrance into college you'd never attempted before. You will find success in many of these efforts, but on occasion you will fail. The old adage states, it's not how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get back up. I'd like to read something by Dr. Maya Angelou on forgiveness. She says, I don't know if I continue even today always liking myself, but what I've learned to do many years ago was to forgive myself. It is very important for every human being to forgive herself or himself, because if you live, you will make mistakes. It is inevitable. But once you do, and you see the mistake, then you forgive yourself and say, well, if I'd known better, I'd have done better. That's all. So you say to people who you think you have injured, I'm sorry. And then you say to yourself, I'm sorry. If we all hold on to the mistake, we can't see our own glory in the mirror because we have the mistake between our faces and the mirror. We can't see what we are capable of being. You can ask forgiveness of others, but in the end, the real forgiveness is in one's own self. I think that young women, men, are so caught by the way they see themselves. Now, mind you, when a larger society sees them as unattractive, as threats, as too black or too white, too poor or too fat or too thin, too sexual or too asexual, that is rough. But you can overcome that. The real difficulty is to overcome how you think about yourself. If we don't have that, we never grow, we never learn, and we sure as hell should never teach. Dr. Maya Angelou, on behalf of the Alumni Relations Office, I'd like to welcome all of you to Arcadia and remind you that while you may be students for 4 or more years here on campus, you will be Arcadian alumni for life.
Please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Arcadia University Convocation. Today we celebrate a history of education that extends for 159 years, and a continuation of that tradition started decades ago and resumed this past year. The word convocation comes from the Latin, con meaning together, plus vocare, to call. It is a call for our university to come together to mark the start of a new academic year and the joy that comes from teaching and learning in a place as special as Arcadia. Please enjoy this short video that celebrates our proud and innovative past, our origins as Beaver College, and evolution to our status as Arcadia University today, and marks the commencement of the new academic year and celebrates our exciting future together. With Convocation, we look to history and celebrate our past, for in it we find our institutional calling, our mission. 2 centuries ago, little else traveled through the wilderness of westernmost Pennsylvania, except for the Ohio and the Beaver Rivers. At their confluence, the French established a trading post. There, members of the Delaware, the Shawnee, and the Iroquois tribes gathered to barter and exchange goods with the European traders. It was, in many respects, an international experience. In 1853, an intellectual outpost was born when its leading citizens got together to form the Beaver Female Seminary. It was revolutionary for the time. As a 150-year history of Beaver College and Arcadia University tells us, there were few seminaries or colleges open to young women at that time. Women were not thought to have a capacity for intellectual pursuits equal to that of men. Hence, the education of girls was usually limited to reading, writing, a smattering of French, drawing, painting, music, and embroidery. By contrast, the 15 founders of the Beaver Female Seminary, led by the Reverend Matthew Simpson, proposed a seminary of learning for the education of female youths in the arts, sciences, and useful literature. Its charter was granted on December 28, 1853. 19 years later, in 1871, the Board of Trustees decided to elevate the grade of the institution to that of a first-class college, and the Charter of Incorporation of Beaver College and Musical Institute was approved by the state legislature on February 21, 1872. In 1925, the leaders of Beaver College saw that the center of commerce, government, and industry would lie closer to the Delaware River than to the Beaver River, and they took the bold step of moving the college to Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. Just a few years later, in 1929, its leaders saw the incredible opportunity that the Harrison Estate offered, and they moved the school here to Glenside. For 93 years, the Gray Towers Castle has been the symbol of our enduring presence. And earlier this year, we opened this grand new building, the Commons. Its name reminds us of the essential place that the village commons had in the life of the community at the time of our founding. It was the place where people gathered to conduct commerce, learn the news, meet visitors from distant lands, and discuss the matters of greatest public importance. The Commons was the heart of the community, and it has quickly become so for us here at Arcadia. So it is appropriate today that in our newest building, we come together to recall our proud and innovative past, to mark the commencement of the new academic year, and to celebrate our exciting future together. I am now pleased to introduce the 20th President of Arcadia University, Dr. Carl Oxholm III.
Thank you very much. Members of the faculty, members of staff and of the administration, members of our Board of Trustees and our alumni, friends and students, new and returning, graduate and undergraduate, here in Glenside, in King of Prussia, in Christiana, and all around the world. I bid you welcome to this very special event and the official beginning of this new academic year. Just this past Friday, scores of transfer students and hundreds of first-year students and their parents were greeted by many of us, including me, in shorts and t-shirts, sweating, as we carried refrigerators and wardrobes and all the stuff of life up countless stairs into rooms that were way too small to hold it all. In no small way, the message to you, our newest students, was this: you are our priority, and we are here to support you. Today, we greet you again in full regalia, academic dress dating back to medieval times, to the earliest universities in Europe, to Oxford and Cambridge in England, to the colonial colleges in the New World, Harvard in 1636, William and Mary in 1693, Yale in 1701, and to the Beaver Female Seminary, chartered as Beaver College in 1872. There's a message in all this pageantry I want to make sure that all of our newest students don't miss. You are now part of a very long tradition in which the world's most privileged citizens have been allowed the luxury of pursuing knowledge, learning from some of our nation's most bright, inquisitive, and creative minds, being immersed in the wisdom of past generations and civilizations, but having the freedom to challenge the accepted, explore the unknown, and create new knowledge. This is serious work. It demands our best efforts each and every day. And, new students, it is now your responsibility as members of this special community. You've already distinguished yourselves in your lives, or else you wouldn't be here. You're clearly smart. You are gifted. But know this from the start: our faculty do not intend to make this easy on you. Don't be deceived by how beautiful Arcadia looks or how peaceful it is. We are here to push you and pull you and stretch you, to take you beyond the limits of where you are comfortable, to surround you with uncertainty, and even to threaten you with failure. I just finished a book by Beaver College alumna Anna DeVere Smith, class of '71, called Letters to a Young Artist, through which she, an accomplished actress and playwright, is mentoring a young and upcoming artist. Her words speak to all of us, and I want to read you a few. Members of the Arcadia faculty, this is what she wrote about being a teacher. Quote, "I don't believe in promising students safety. The world is just too rough for that at this moment. I think we should teach resilience." I couldn't agree more. Resilience means pressing on after you have been pushed back. It means jumping back up after you've been knocked down, not giving up, always trying your best. We know this for ourselves. And if we teach our students to master resilience, they will be prepared for anything that life throws at them. Let us take this for our charge. I suspect a good number of our newest students are more than a bit nervous about what lies ahead for them. That's really quite reasonable. In fact, I suspect that many members of the faculty and the administration are a bit nervous too. But I tell you this, success is not about being confident. It is not about being confident. Again, quoting Ms. Smith, confidence is a static state. Determination is active. Determination allows for doubt and humility, both of which are critical in the world today. Determination is a commitment to win, a commitment to fight the good fight. So leave here today knowing that you will be tested. Be humble in your self-evaluation, but be determined to give it your best. Ms. Smith wrote one letter that speaks powerfully to all of us, and it was about fear. In it, she acknowledges that in life, there's a lot to be afraid of. But rather than worrying about the challenges, the uncertainty, and the tests that lie ahead, she gives this advice to us. Quote, I suggest you spend your time building up your strength. The fact is, it's very important to have mental clarity and clarity of purpose. Clarity about who you are. You will need the ability to know what you think is right and wrong, and the ability to stand for something. You need a center. Regardless of who we are, student, faculty, staff, president, whether we will truly succeed, whether you will succeed, will depend on who you are and whether you are centered. Each of us will define our own self with almost every step we take. We will have many choices. Do not fail to see that one builds upon the other. Know yourself. Be true to yourself. Again, quoting Anna Devere Smith, quote, what you are will show, ultimately. Start now, every day, becoming in your actions, your regular actions, what you would like to become in the bigger scheme of things. Today, in this convocation, we come together to start our new beginning as a community. May each of us leave this ceremony true to ourselves, ready to face the unknown, determined to do our best, and willing to learn to be resilient. I am confident that together we will make this a truly great year in the already great history of Arcadia University. Thank you. Thank you. Arcadia University is privileged to be guided by a supportive and engaged board of trustees, many of whom are alumni, and all of whom enthusiastically give their very best to Arcadia in many different ways. They help set the direction of our university and ensure that it remains strong and vibrant and true to our mission. All of us are grateful for their leadership and their service. We're honored to have several members of the Board of Trustees with us today, and I ask them to rise and remain standing so we can acknowledge their contributions to our welfare. Trustees, please rise. Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge the leadership of the vice presidents of the university, upon whom we all depend so heavily, and whose energy, commitment, creativity, and passion inspire us all to even greater service. Would the members of the President's Cabinet please rise and accept our thanks? And it's now my pleasure to invite to the podium the chairwoman of the Board of Trustees, an alumna of the great class of 1980. Please join me in welcoming Margaret Wright Steele.
Thank you, President Oxholm. Provost Michael, members of the faculty, staff, students, administrators, and colleagues on the Board of Trustees. What a great day for Arcadia. It is wonderful to celebrate the dawn of a new academic year. This is a day full of promise as we celebrate this wonderful Beaver College tradition, a tradition which recognizes the promise for the arriving students just beginning their Arcadia journey, and promise for the faculty who will inspire these students to achieve, and to the staff who support these students. It is easy to get caught up in the excitement sparked by the class of 2016, the largest first-year class in our history. In 9 short months, we will applaud the class of 2013 in a ceremony that brings closure to their journey with us. In between, there is much to learn and much to celebrate as our students, our faculty, and our staff challenge themselves and each other to achieve new heights. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am delighted to welcome all of our new students and our returning students to Arcadia. We look forward to all that you will accomplish. I am now pleased to introduce our esteemed Provost, Dr. Steve Michael.
Thank you, Trustee Steele, President Oxum, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a privilege to be part of today's celebration of a new academic year, and a great honor to be associated with a progressive university known for its global education. At Arcadia University, we believe that the challenge in the 21st century is to rise to the demands of an increasingly global society. We live in an increasingly borderless society with increasingly integrated economies and interdependent ecosystems. We believe that there is no place, no better place to be prepared and educated for this new world than Arcadia University. With our growing diverse faculty that hail from all parts of the globe, with curricular experiences that are intentionally international, and with the growing number of overseas partners seeking joint educational programming with Arcadia, Arcadia's education holds much promise for you. I'm proud to be the provost of such a dedicated and exemplary faculty body, of supportive and caring academic staff, and above all, of students seeking to embrace the globe. To our new and returning students, I welcome you to Arcadia Life. You will be the one to translate the Arcadia promise into your own unique Arcadia experience. And I look forward to hearing your Arcadia stories and how you have been or you are being transformed into Arcadians. It is now my pleasure to provide the roll call of schools and colleges, as well as our administrative staff in preparation for this new academic year. Will the faculty and staff of the College of Arts and Sciences please rise if you are able to? Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Barbara Nodine, are the Faculty of Arts and Sciences ready to begin the academic year? Please have your seats. Will the faculty and staff of the College of Global Studies please rise if you are able to? Dr. Dennis Dosky, the Academic Dean of the College of Global Studies. Are your faculty and staff here in Glenside and around the world ready to begin the academic year? Please be seated. Will the faculty and staff of the College of Health Sciences please rise if you are able to? The Dean of the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Archie Vomachko, are the faculty and staff of the College of Health Sciences here and in Christiana, Delaware, ready to begin the academic year? Please be seated. Will the faculty and staff of the School of Continuing Studies rise? These will include anyone who teaches online, off campus, or at the King of Prussia campus. Any faculty that has taught online, please rise with the school. Dr. Eric Nelson, Dean of the School of Continuing Studies. Are the faculty and staff affiliated with the School of Continuing Studies here and at the King of Prussia campus ready to begin the academic year? Please be seated. Will the faculty and staff members of the newest school, the School of Education, please rise to be recognized? Dr. Liv Gustafson, Dean of the School of Education. Are the faculty and staff of the School of Education ready to begin the new academic year? Please be seated. The faculty and staff of the School of Global Business, please rise if you are able to. Dr. N.J. Deliner, Dean of the School of Global Business. Are the faculty and staff of the School of Global Business here and around the world ready to begin the new academic year? Thank you. Please be seated. Will all members of our staff, all members of Arcadia staff, administrative staff, wherever you are, please rise if you are able to. I call upon Ms. Brian Donnelly, Chair of the Staff Council, and ask, Ms. Donnelly, are the university staff ready to begin the academic year? Please be seated. Now, will all undergraduate students, first year and returning students, please stand if you are able to. All undergraduate students. Now I call upon Dr. Nancy Rossoff, the Dean of Graduate and Undergraduate Studies, and ask, Dean Rossoff, are the undergraduate students ready to begin the academic year?
Undergraduate students were born ready to begin.
Please be seated, undergraduate students. Will all the graduate students, please stand if you are able to. So I call upon you, Dean Rossoff, again. Are all the graduate students ready to begin the academic year?
Provost Michael and President Oxford, all the graduate students were born a few years earlier.
Thank you. Please be seated. In conclusion of the roll call, I now invite us to watch a 2-minute video of our students, staff, and faculty from Singapore.
Acadians, are you ready for the new year? Good afternoon, President Toby, professors, and all Arcadians. Today is indeed a special day as we come in celebration of the commencement of another new academic year. To my fellow Arcadians, I applaud each and one of you for stepping out of the comfort zone and pursue a similar academic.
I'm Roland, ADJOVI, Academic Director of the Center in Arusha. I'm here with the staff and the students. President Oxford and Arcadia University, we have started our new academic year. We wish you all good year. Karibu Arusha.
President Oxholm and gathered guests, my name is Alan Jansen, and it's my great pleasure to announce the academic year 2012 Open Year in Cape Town at the very tip of the continent of Africa. Thank you.
I am Dr. Hamish Thompson, Director for Scotland Programmes. President Oxholm and Arcadia University, I am delighted to announce the opening of the academic year in Scotland.
I'm Tina Rocchio, the Resident Director for the Arcadia University Centre for Italian Studies. President Oxholm and Arcadia University, I'm pleased to announce the opening of the academic year in Italy.
Buon pomeriggio, dalla Sicilia. I'm Lucia Ortisi, Resident Director for Sicily Programs. President Oxholm and Arcadia University, I'm pleased to announce the new academic year in Syracuse, Sicily. Ciao! Ciao!
Chiaritismus. I'm Jan Sanders, the Resident Director in Athens. President Oxholm and Arcadia University, I'm pleased to announce the beginning of the academic year in Greece.
Greetings and hello from London. I'm David Hillel Rubin. I'm the Regional Director of Great Britain and Ireland Programs. On behalf of President Oxholm and Arcadia University, I'm pleased to announce the beginning of the academic year in Great Britain and Ireland.
President Oxholm, I'm talking to you from a lovely new Melbourne centre on behalf of all of us in Australia. We are in the midst of our semester, of course, and we wish you all well.
Bona tarda des de Barcelona. Hi from Barcelona. home of the best soccer team in the world, Barca. I am Jaume Jalabert, Academic Director for Spain Programs. President Oxlom, members of Arcadia University, I'm very pleased to announce the opening of the academic year in Spain. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Hello, I'm Tom Kelly, Resident Director for Arcadia Programs in Ireland. President Oxlom and Arcadia University, the academic programs in Ireland are about to commence. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, kia ora, haere mai. I'm Jane Gunn-LEWIS, the Resident Director for Arcadia in New Zealand. I'm wishing you all the best for a wonderful new academic year, and huge hugs to all our Arcadia alums back in Glenside.
Greetings from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm ALPER, Academic Director of Turkey Programs. President Oxlom and Arcadia University, I'm pleased to announce the beginning of the academic year here in Turkey. I wish all the Arcadians a great academic year. Thank you.
I'm Amelia. I'm going to London this fall with Phi-Sci. I just want to say hi, class of 2016. Have a great year, and we'll see you in the spring.
Hi guys, I'm Finn. I'm going to Sterling with Phi-Sci in the fall, and I just wanted to say hello to the class of 2016. I hope you guys have a great year.
I think it's over now. Well, this is splendid, and a demonstration of a university that is globally engaged, globally minded, and globally present. This is Arcadia's way. Congratulations to all our new students. You are officially Arcadia Knights. There is no great university without great faculty. It is my fortune in life to lead and work with our exemplary faculty. And addressing us today on behalf of the faculty is the chair of the Faculty Council, Dr. Kathleen Mangione, Professor of Physical Therapy. Please join me to welcome Dr. Mangione to the podium.
Thank you, Provost Michael. As Chair of Faculty Council, it is a pleasure to represent our faculty at this event, opening the 2012-2013 academic year. I'm happy to greet the returning students, but it's especially exciting to meet the new incoming graduate and undergraduate students. As a professor in physical therapy, I only teach graduate students, but I understand there's a large number of you in the class of 2016 whom I may have the opportunity to teach when you become doctoral students in 4 years. I look forward to a productive year of collaboration among the faculty, staff, and administration. I predict a year filled with enthusiasm, growth, learning, hard work, but also fun, friendship, and spirit. The faculty and administration of Arcadia University are here for one purpose: to change lives and to transform our society one student at a time. It is therefore fitting that we hear from our students. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Ekta Budala, President of the Student Government Organization.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Mangione. As Student Government President, it is my pleasure to welcome new students and welcome back the returning students to another start of an awesome year at Arcadia. Throughout the summer, the university has undergone several changes for the betterment of the student experience. I encourage you to take advantage of everything Arcadia has to offer. Step out of your comfort zone, join a team or a club, become a student leader, network, make connections that will last you the rest of your life. Hang out with friends on the Haber Green or take the train or one of the Neo-Zip cars into Philly. Your experience at Arcadia is what you make it. Be engaged and make the most of the year. So let's get this party started and have the best 2012-2013 year to come.
Please join me to welcome back to the podium President Oxholm.
I think Edgar said it best, right? Your experience at Arcadia is what you make of it, so be engaged and make the most of this year. The new students will remember where we were on Friday after we were taking all your stuff up to the room and we met in here. And I challenged you, regardless of what your major was, to figure out how you get away from your books and into the fullness of the life of this campus. You remember that, right? It's on the test. The point is just what you said. This place will come alive if you participate in it to its fullness. Now, most of you in this room are going to take 4 years to be done. Do we have, and I'm going to give you a date you're going to have to pay attention to. Do we have any students in the room who are graduating this next spring in 2013? Yeah? Okay. You know these dates already, May 16th and 17th, right? 16th for graduate students, 17th for undergraduates. That's the date of commencement. How about those graduating in 2014? Any of you here? Yeah, a couple? Excellent. All right, your dates in 2014, May 15 and May 16. How about 2015? How many graduating? Oh, yeah. May 14 and May 15, right? Undergraduates on the 15th, graduates on the 14th, right on up there. Okay. And for those of you in the great class of 2016, you know that, yeah. How many of you know the dates you're getting out of here? Okay, May 19th and 20th, 2016. Yeah, we're holding you back an extra week. All right, book those dates now, okay? Because they are the dates of your graduation. Believe it or not, those dates so far away are going to be here faster than you think. And so between then and now, I don't care what year you're in, I don't care if you're a transfer or a first year, we want you to make your mark on this school. When you leave here at commencement, I'm going to tell you this. You are Arcadia. Wherever you go, whatever you do, our name will be on you and you will represent us. That starts today. You are Arcadia. And you will soon be alumni. And then, to prove how great this place was, and the mark you will leave on us, you will add something to us that is permanent and more than just your name. It'll be, and you've seen it out there already for every other class, 2016, it's a heavy obligation. Your paver. 6 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays in that room across the hall. Okay, so here's the deal. This is being installed out there next couple days. You're going to have, for the class of 2016 anyway, 4 years to get your name on a brick in the hall on the Walk of Pride. Okay, just 4 years. Now, the cost is pretty easy. It's about $1 a week. Here's how you do it. When you leave here, you're going to go upstairs, you're going to go through the chat on the way out to the picnic, fill out a pledge form. Get your name on here, right? And then when you go home or when your parents come up here or when it's your birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah or a celebration, you get your parents to give you a brick. And why do you want this? Why do you want your name on the Walk of Pride? I'll tell you. So your little sister or brother can stand on your name. The number of brothers and sisters that are looking for their siblings' names or their parents' name on that walk is amazing. Now you have almost 700 members of this class of 26, 700. If you go out there today and you count the class that has the most bricks, I hate to set the bar so low, 46. That stinks. You guys are going to set a new record with, out of your 700, 690 students, at least half of you. Half of you, I challenge to have your name out there by the time you graduate in 4 years. You got to remember, at a university, 50% is flunking. So it should be easy to do, right? Simple, especially if your parents pay for it. So when we put this on the Walk of Pride, I want you to be thinking about making your mark here. Really, honestly, not just putting your name on the walk that people can walk on and you can see when you come back 50 years from now for your reunion. But in everything you do from now on, whether it's in sports as a member of the intercollegiate team, or as a rooter in the stands, whether you're in the theater or an artist, or someone going to watch the plays, or someone who's giving community service to the poor or the children or the elderly in our community, whether it's anything, that's what makes us great. You can do it around the world. You can do it here. Make your mark for Arcadia University. It will define who you are and what we are, and we thank you for it. Remember this, okay? All right. I now give you your Dean of Students, Josh Stern.
Hey now. Oh, come on now. I'm honored to be able to offer my remarks to our new and returning students as we approach the end of this ceremony, and I promise you it's very near. I just ask for your indulgence for a few minutes while I share a brief but personal story. I sat at my own convocation ceremony 25 years ago at another university. And my peers and I were addressed by a very austere-looking and somber dean who, without any further communication than a very curt welcome to X university, asked us to look at the person seated to our left, my left, your right, and look at the person seated next to you on the right. Now, I was sitting in an aisle seat, so I turned to face the only person next to me, who happened to be my roommate, who I had just met in person a few hours prior to that ceremony. He and I had exchanged a very awkward phone call that summer before we started school. After some small talk, we discussed who was going to bring what to our new room. I offered to bring my phone with the built-in answering machine. It was the 80s, so we actually used landlines. And sure, I would be glad to share with you my new word processor that I had received as a graduation present. Now, again, this was the 80s, so at that time, the word processor was the next step up on the technological evolutionary ladder from the typewriter, so I was state of the art. But what I remember most about that conversation was that my roommate had a very distinctive Southern accent. He was going to be a swimmer on the swim team, and that his name was Jude. His mother, an English professor at a university in North Carolina, named him after Jude the Obscure, the titular character of a Thomas Hardy novel I distinctly remember suffering through in my high school English class, with apologies to our English faculty. Seeing as this was well before Facebook, let alone the internet, I had no idea what a swimmer named Jude from North Carolina looked like. And from our brief conversation, I really couldn't tell what type of person he was. But my underdeveloped adolescent brain led me to believe that because I was a soccer player from the gritty streets of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That's right, they're gritty. I was going to own this country bumpkin, and I was going to be the alpha male in this housing arrangement. Now, as it turned out, Jude was a 6'2", blonde-haired Adonis with a Michael Phelpsian physique. I immediately tried to hate him, but his southern charm was completely irresistible. The guy was the total package. But I digress. So there I was, sitting at my convocation, staring into Jude's Adonis green eyes, as instructed by the dean. And then, in what I outwardly intended as a gesture of friendship, but inwardly intended as a means to impress Jude with an awesome display of my manly grip strength, I offered him a handshake. And just as we were completing that handshake, the dean ominously said, one of the people sitting next to you, won't be here next year. Suddenly, Jude's hand went clammy in mine, and he quickly broke our clasp, and he avoided eye contact with me for the remainder of the ceremony. And I remember thinking to myself, aha, this guy has some weaknesses. He's not going to be sure if he's going to make it till next year. Now, while the dean's admonition was certainly unwelcoming and far from inspiring, it was prophetic. At the end of that first year, one of us was indeed no longer at school. Unfortunately, the one of us was me. Jude did everything a successful student should do. He went to class, he studied, he involved himself in co-curricular activities, he made connections with faculty and staff, and he integrated himself into the fabric of the campus community. I, on the other hand, treated classes as optional, didn't study too hard, joined and then quit a number of student clubs, and avoided any contact with my professors outside of class. They wanted to know where I had been all this time. The only fabric I integrated myself into was that of my blanket after some late nights carousing. Yeah, you caught my drift, okay. So, while Jude engaged himself and thrived on campus our first year, I found myself being academically dismissed from school after my first year. Academically dismissed, students, is the fancy way of saying I failed out of college. Some of my colleagues are looking at me like, oh, that explains a lot about that Stern guy. So why do I share this anecdote with you? Well, there are two main reasons. Reason number one, to underscore the fact that Arcadia is not a look at the person on your left, look at the person on your right, one of these people won't be here type of universities. Do we want to challenge you academically and expose you to a diverse array of people, cultures, and ideologies that might make you uncomfortable or cause you to question your values? We absolutely do. Can some structured and healthy competition among classmates and cohorts be positive and motivating? They sure can. Do we want you to succeed no matter what the cost, at the expense of your peers or your own well-being? Absolutely not. Regardless of your academic discipline or your status as a graduate or undergraduate student, the talented and dedicated group of staff and faculty gathered right here, they're here to support you, to guide you, and yes, sometimes cajole you toward the successful completion of your degree program. So don't look at the people next to you as competition. Don't extend your hand to them like I did as a means to assert dominance. Instead, look at them as your colleagues and extend your hand to them in fellowship. Each of you brings something of value to this community, and we can all learn from each other. And that brings me to reason number two. Don't be like I was 25 years ago. Be more like my roommate Jude. While I was projecting an image of self-confidence and bravado, I was actually passive, non-committal, risk-averse, and just really, really scared. Jude recognized and owned his weaknesses and his anxieties about university life, but he didn't let them paralyze them the way I did me. So immerse yourself in this place, in your studies, in the co-curriculum, and in conversation and debate with your peers and your professors. Take full advantage of the opportunities your faculty will provide you to conduct original research, to study abroad, to present at professional conferences, to obtain internships and practica, and to be challenged and stretched to the limits of your intellectual ability. None of you, students, is here without some personal challenge, and yet all of you have worked hard, have made difficult decisions, and sacrificed to reach this critical juncture in your lives. Know that you are already strong enough and talented enough to succeed here. Know that you have the tools and resources here to help you if you're struggling. And know that we care about you. Now, start the academic year off right. Be present, be positive, be open-minded, be creative, be committed, and most importantly, be a proud member of this Arcadia family. I'd like to welcome you all home.
Members of the faculty and staff, trustees and friends, join me in welcoming the class of 2016. All right, we've now reached the end of really a wonderful beginning. We're going to conclude by singing the alma mater. Then when the music starts, students, you get out first, and you can head to the picnic upstairs. The faculty will wait for you, so move it along, okay? Now, you should all know the words of the alma mater. It's in your program. Steve Gerhardt, is the University Choir ready to begin the new academic year? Alma mater, hit it. Okay, rise, guys. Congratulations to everyone.